all this on and off stuff between us, you know? It's painful, you know? I suffer a lot without you. I miss you a lot. All the makeups, the breakups.
I used to wake up to your love. I used to wake up to your phone calls. I used to wake up to your love. I used to wake up to your phone call. Girl, I'm missing you. I know you're missing me too. Girl, I'm missing you. I know you're missing me too. Girl, I'm missing you. I know you're missing me too. I'm missing you. I know you're missing me too. Okay, you're something I can't live without. You're something I can't be without. The girl I can't forget about. You're the girl of my dreams, the only one I really need. My love, I'll show you loyalty. I need you by my side at all times. Like you're the only girl that's crossing through my mind. You know I'm missing you every single day. I wonder if you even care to look both ways. I stay on my phone, shawty, I need you at home. Shawty, you know I can't do it my own. You know me, baby, I'm blowing your phone. I can't do this shit alone.
That's why we need to talk it out. Who cares what people think? You know we're meant to be. You know that too, babe. You know it too.
A little long distance won't hurt, but it pushing and fill us with dirt. It won't stop me, it won't even hurt. We back to the talking and making it work. There's no other girl compared to you. No one can do it like you. Like no one can love me like you. The connection we had is so unbreakable. Like I'm so glad you stayed and waited. You're so faithful. Like I'm so thankful to meet a girl like you. I'm so grateful to compare to you. Like all the stuff we did together is meant forever. All the days, all the fights, no one seen behind. Only girl I seen alive. All the breakups and the makeups, girl, be fine. Even if I need to hide it from the world just to make you my girl, I will fly you. Even if I need to hide it from the world just to make you my girl, I will fly you. I used to wake up to your love. I used to wake up to your phone calls. I used to wake up to your love. I used to wake up to your phone calls. Girl, I'm missing you. I know you're missing me too. Girl, I'm missing you. I know you're missing me too. Girl, I'm missing you. I know you're missing me too. Girl, I'm missing you. I know you're missing me too.
Yeah, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together. Happy holidays, party people. What is up, you two? It's your boy Binary back at you with another live video. Hey, look, I was on my main channel. I like this being on the side. Hold up. Way. I like that. I like, that's the narcissist in me. I like that shit right there. I like that right there. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my shit all the way together. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? Let me show the comments on the screen right there. Let me get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, that's like that. What up, Tastic T? What up, though? What up, Outlaw? What up, Folk? What up, Nine? Make a change. What up, Brixton? What up, Cosmic Girl? Look at the peoples is here. Look. We're going to talk about Derell. Free Derell. You know what I'm saying? Free Derell. You know what I mean? Free Derell, man. Derell had an interview with Recognized Game. Make a change. And we know, sorry, I'm folding up my chip bag. You know, my queso and cheddar cheese chip bag. Folding that up real quick. Okay. Yeah, so Derell had a interview with Recognized Game, and so Recognized Game was really curious about what's going on with Dr. Umar Johnson and Derell's relationship with Dr. Umar Johnson, and kind of how Derell views Umar today. And so that was pretty much the gist of the interview. I don't know if Recognized Game realizes that Derell is going through some shit of his own right now. I don't think he realizes that. I don't think he recognizes that. I don't think he knows about that. Damn, I have a membership on the Moneymaker and I can't get a wrench over here. I know you're just joking, but it's only right. It's only right. And I know you're just kidding. And I know you don't even want a wrench, but it's only right. It's only right. Make a change. It's only right. It's only right, because I'm pretty sure this is going to turn into an Umar Johnson sector channel, even though it is the Code Fam sector. Now, Lemon is right. Lemon is right. He says, I'm not big enough to have my own sector. And okay, we have what, 8 people? You gotta start somewhere, Binary. You gotta start somewhere if you're trying to do your own sector. You gotta start somewhere. All right, so he was over there. The thing about the Recognized Game interview, let me pull that shit up real quick. Let me pull it up real quick. Oh, damn, I didn't watch it on this channel. Damn it. Hold up. Wait. Give me a second. Give me a second. Damn, of course. Of course, I got ads and shit. Damn it, man. I can't stand that shit. Whenever you're on your channel that what did I do? Damn it. I should not be. Wait, hold on. This better be on my whatchamacallit channel. Okay, that one's good. Why is this one not good? Oh, what? My money ain't good? My money ain't good? Hold on, man. Damn it. Why is it on this one? What did I do wrong, bruh? Ah, shit. Let me see if I can find it, y'all. Because Recognized Game is not even in the algorithm, but let me put Recognized Game Umar Johnson. That might narrow the shit down. Yep, there it is. Boom. Wow. Oh shit. Really, Binary? Really, bro? Really? Yeah, shit. Okay, do I have integrity or not? Do I have integrity or not? Ah, shit. Okay, if I have integrity, my whole damn show is about to be derailed. Shout out to Derell. If I have integrity, my whole show is about to be derailed. Okay. That's what I get for not paying attention to the date. That's what my black ass gets for not paying attention to the date. It's an old ass interview, y'all. It's an old ass interview. So now all of my talking points are thrown clearly out of the window. Why didn't my black ass look at the date? The lady got me. Stargate and Anti got my black ass. No, I don't think it was Anti. I forgot who told me that Derell did an interview. It wasn't Anti. Somebody told me that Derell did that interview. I went over there. Shit, y'all. Oh, you want to talk about egg on my mother effing face, y'all? Oh my. Oh my God. So that whole first line item on the docket right there, that whole first element, that whole first piece of the docket, my thoughts on Derell's interview, the notes, I watched it 2 days ago, yesterday. I think I watched it yesterday. I forgot when I watched it, but I watched it like a day or two ago. Stewed on it a little bit. Thought about how I wanted to respond. Yes, you have already earned that shit. You have already earned that shit. Thank you, make a change. Damn it, man. Oh shit. Oh my god. I can't believe that. And so I stewed on it. I brought it into the light of where we're at currently. And I had notes. Lord Jesus, help me. And now I can't even. Oh well. Oh well. Well, let me sip on. Hold on. Let me get some drinking on some. Hold on. Okay, that's clear. That's empty. Let me give me some water. Hold on. Give me a second. There we go. All right, so let's journey into the mind of somebody that, dibbles and dabbles in Medicare fraud and identity theft. Okay, we can at least do that. I can at least do that, right? So we're going to go ahead and get into the mind and the psychology behind it all. So I'm going to bring this white woman up on my screen. So let me go ahead and share screen and bring this white lady up here. Okay, boom. Okay, boom. Is this the white lady? Yes, this is her. Boom. Shout out to the news correspondent of Code Fam. There she is right there. Shout out to the Code Fam sector. There goes the white lady right there. Shout out to you, white lady. Welcome to the show. And she is going to give us the news about, Medicaid fraud. Here we go.
Luxury cars, extravagant meals, and trips paid for with money meant to help the poor get health care. Now, one of the main players in this massive Medicaid fraud case wants out of prison because of his health.
These white collar crimes, people don't think they need to do the same type of time as hardened criminals. But what people fail to realize is white collared crimes, blue collared crimes, black collared crimes, yellow collared crimes does not matter. A crime is a crime and the time is the time. Listen, you want to know why I don't do nefarious shit? You want to know why I don't have my hands dirty in all kinds of street and gang activity? Because I know if I was to get caught, I would not be able to survive a minute, a second in prison or in county or in any type of anybody's locked up jail system. I could barely handle being grounded. When I used to get grounded when I was little, it just felt like my life was over. So I can't even imagine being behind bars, locked up, looking over my shoulder every time those jail bars open up and you have to go eat lunch or take a shower or take a shit. So now this guy is like, I need to be out of here because my health is declining. Speak on it, white lady.
WRAL investigates. Sarah Kruger explains the ironic twist in this story.
WRAL Investigates first covered this Medicaid fraud story 2 years ago. Since then, the husband and wife who profited off the poor have been in prison. Now he wants out. And considering where he's been over the past few years, thanks to our taxpayer dollars, who could blame him?
Sun's just coming up here, boy.
This is the white version of Derell. Oh my gosh, just look at this dude. living high off the hog. Look at this guy. Look at that. Look at that ocean behind him. Shout out to Barn Dog. I see you. Look at this guy just living the life. Living la vida loca. Living la vida loca.
Who could blame him?
Sun's just coming up here in Bora Bora. Top of the morning from the Dominican Republic.
I'm just saying hello to you from Bora Bora. I'm just saying top of the morning to you from the Dominican Republic. Remember when Derell went to Vegas? And he did the juvenile Lil Wayne. After you back it up, then stop. Then why? Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Remember that? Remember when he was twerking and shit in Vegas? Damn.
The view from our balcony here in Napa. Happy Valentine's Day from Malibu. Green is from the Gold Coast of Australia.
Over a 3 to 4 year period.
No. Hey, soul sister. Hey there, Mister, on the radio, stereo. No. No. Not the sister. Not the sister. Okay, let's see where we're at right now. We're at 54 seconds. We're gonna rewind this back to this top. Rewind this back to the top. Okay. We're gonna rewind this back to the top, and I want y'all to hear something. And then I'm gonna try my hardest to get back to 54 seconds. But I want to see if y'all catch what I have caught already. Okay, and maybe I'll rewind it a few times just to see. And don't forget, over here we have fun. Over here, there's interaction going on. And I keep that same energy, whether there's 170 or a 17. You know what I'm saying? So let's have our fun, shall we? Let's see if y'all could catch something. Hold on. Let me go back to 54 seconds just to remind y'all. Let me go back to 54 seconds. Let me go back. Boom. Okay. All right. Y'all see that right there? I know y'all see that right there. Okay, so now let me go back and let me see if y'all catch what I have caught.
There's extravagant meals and trips paid for with money meant to help the poor get health care. Now, one of the main players in this massive Medicaid fraud case wants out of prison because of his health. WRAL investigates Sarah Kruger explains the ironic twist in this story.
WRAL Investigates first covered this Medicaid fraud story 2 years ago. Since then, the husband and wife who profited off the poor have been in prison. Now he wants out.
Did y'all catch it? I mean, it's not like a biblical revelation or anything. It's not a biblical revelation. But did y'all catch it? What's up, Rennie? Yeah, when the Rennie's in the system, ain't no telling will I or will I diss them? That's what they be yelling. I'm a pimp by blood, not relation. Y'all be chasing, I replace them. Hey, did y'all catch it? Pastor T said yes, I caught it. Let's do it again.
WRAL Investigates first covered this Medicaid fraud story 2 years ago. Since then, the husband and wife who profited off the poor have been in prison. Now he wants out, and considering where he...
Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the husband flaunting his goods. Here we go.
The sun's just coming up here in Bora Bora. Top of the morning from the Dominican Republic. View from our balcony here in Napa.
And Matthew.
Happy Valentine's Day from Malibu. Green is from the Gold Coast of Australia.
Over a 3 to 4 year period, Tim and...
When you look at this couple, only one of them's begging to get out of prison. Only one of them doesn't want to take full accountability of their actions. Of course, it's the white man. Of course. The sister is probably in deep regret. This is what restorative justice is truly all about. Restorative justice is about this sister right here who has put her head down and she is serving her time. The white ninja is talking about, I have allergies, I need to be out. I would say just for that sake alone, let the wife out. Let the sister free. Give us free. For owning up to her mistake, for owning up to her crime and doing her mother effing time. This white man has probably never been held accountable in his mother effing life. And now he wants out due to health issues. Ain't that some shit? Let's listen.
And Letitia Heron were true jet setters in their private $900,000 plane. The tropical photos are breathtaking. The high-end meals in Las Vegas, mouthwatering. Pictures and stories we all helped pay for after they submitted $17 million in fraudulent bills to the state Medicaid system. Tim Heron recently filed a motion in federal court for compassionate release for health reasons. He lists several illnesses that are high risk factors if he gets COVID. Heron also mentions a head injury as a reason to let him out or reduce his sentence.
Tim Heron is currently scheduled to get out in 2029. His wife, 2 years later, because she played a bigger role in the fraud.
Oh shit. Sometimes, Binary, you need to listen to the entirety of the video. Sometimes you need to listen. I did not hear that part. That shows you how I don't have no time. For a minute and 56-second video, I couldn't even listen to the whole damn thing. The wife was the ringleader. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. So he was just a big dummy. You big dummy. You big dummy. I cut it off after the photos. Damn. Okay, so let's let's go make a change. Shout out. Free Derell now. Damn it. Free Derell. I'm trying to show D. Derell his future. Shit. Trying to show this man his future. Tastic T said, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it, damn it. They pinning it all on the sister. Damn. Okay, so now what we're gonna do? Oh, this is fun. See, I don't have my D-Derell content because that interview with Recognized Game was 4 months ago. Oh shit. That's what my dumbass gets. That interview with Recognized Game that D-Derell did was 4 months ago. 4 months ago. Oh, you know what? We could still kind of salvage a little bit of what I was going to say about it because 4 months ago, let's see, what are we in? December, November, October, September. So in September, he was still, knee deep in the shit. So I think we could talk a little bit about the interview. But yeah, what up, Gemini? What's going on? What up, Come Pillow Talk with Bay? What up to my peoples is here? Thank y'all so much for being here. So you seen an interracial couple and went live. Didn't watch shit. All right, so let's watch this back with the proper mindset of the sister. The sister was the mastermind. Oh my God, here we go.
Luxury cars, extravagant.
Luxury cars, extravagant houses, all this airfare, all this shit. This woman wanted this lifestyle. Oh my God, y'all. I'm tripping. Oh my God.
Luxury cars, extravagant meals, and trips paid for with money meant to help the poor get health care. Now, one of the main players in this massive Medicaid fraud case wants out of prison because of his health.
No, he wants out of prison because she assured him that this was foolproof and they ain't gonna get caught. And he was oh, this changes everything. This changes everything. My whole perception of this shit in perspective has shifted. This dude, now he's not innocent, but I think he had so much trust and faith in what his wife was doing. Just like I'm clearing my throat on purpose, because typically whenever I'm confronted with shit like this, it's typically the husband that is having the wife not really knowing what the hell she's doing. Now, I'm only familiar with this in one other area of my life. There's only one other like area of people that I kind of know that I'm familiar with this, and in that particular case, the husband was the ringleader, and so this is foreign to me. And so this is new territory. But one thing I am going to say is, because there's another there's another video that we're going to watch together that I find interesting, because as I was looking for Medicaid fraud and identity theft as far as the government and billing is concerned, it was very rare that I seen white people, which is crazy. Now, I did see some white doctors. I did see white people, but I seen a lot of black people. And a lot of black people, unfortunately, that did like fake billing with like group homes and shit. So when somebody said the Janice house, I was like, oh shit, that's just right up the alley, because Derell owned his own group home too. And I seen a lot of that. So as I was doing my research on the epidemic of Medicaid fraud, that's just, I didn't know how rampant it was running in the system. So just to break it down a little bit before we continue on this clip of actually seeing who the ultimate villain of the story is, which was the black lady. I had no idea. One thing that I learned was there was a time where you would bill the state, right? Like let's just say maybe it was somebody that had special needs, and so you were doing respite or habilitative type work, or you were billing for therapy sessions and this and that, where the state really wasn't as involved as they are now. There wasn't all this red tape and all these hurdles that you have to jump over in order to solidify yourself as a company. And so it was almost like the wild west, and it was almost like free reign. So you get in there, right, and you start your own company and you start billing these hours. They weren't as strict on how to bill and this and that or whatever. And so all of a sudden, I can't remember when it was, maybe 2008 or maybe a little bit after, no, pandemic. I don't know when exactly it was, but there was a shift where cities, states in federal, they were cracking down, and they put all of these barriers. Okay, if you want to have this type of company, you need to have this type of overhead, and you need to have this ratio, and you need to have this and this and this and that. And so you really could not afford to be a business. You couldn't anymore. And so some people did a lot of false billing to try to keep up with their lifestyle that they got so accustomed to. And even with that lifestyle, they were doing false billing. But I mean, just to keep up with what they had going on, they would see somebody for about 20 minutes, but bill them an hour. Somebody would cancel their session. They would still bill them for that session. And then what Derell's being alleged to do is billing the dead. I mean, they would bill the dead. This is not new. So when I studied this, I started to realize, oh shit, if Derell is guilty of these crimes, these indictments that they hit him with, he was pretty much following a trend. So it's not as abnormal as I thought it was before I investigated and learned about the corruption of this system. So Derell was just pretty much doing what everybody in that field was doing, especially in Texas. Okay. What up, Unbothered? I'm over here just kicking it, Unbothered. My Harley Quinn right there. I'm just over here kicking it. What up, Identity Withheld? Is it too late to bust this check with my patient's name? I'm if he's guilty. Look, man, I ain't trying to put guilt on that man. But let's continue looking at this in the eyes of with a new pair of eyes. The wife was actually the mastermind.
WRAL investigates. Sarah Kruger explains the ironic twist in this story.
WRAL investigates.
No wonder she said the ironic twist in this story. I thought it meant the husband wanted out of prison because of the health issues, which is the ironic twist. No, the ironic twist in my mind now is the wife was the mastermind. Oh my God. Let's just listen. Oh shit.
Investigates first covered this Medicaid fraud story 2 years ago. Since then, the husband and wife who profited off the poor have been in prison. Now he wants out. And considering where he's been over the past few years, thanks to our taxpayer dollars, who could blame him?
Sun's just coming up here in Bora Bora. Top of the morning from the Dominican.
Look, every time I see this clip, I want to slap the dog shit out of him, right? Because he's stealing. It's like it's not even Robin Hood, because he's not robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. He's robbing from the poor and keeping it for himself. Like, I just want to slap the dog shit out of him. But now that I know, his wife probably told him to do this shit. Or she's telling his ass to lay low. And because he wants to boast, and because his mama and daddy probably told him he ain't never going to amount to shit, and I'm pretty sure he has an ex-wife, and she told him he ain't never going to be shit, and that he needs to keep his hands off of her, probably, more than likely, allegedly, a slight possibility. He looks like a meathead that would do some shit like that. Maybe, maybe not. Just saying. But now I'm looking at this knowing that his dumbass was being led by his wife while boasting about all these places that he's been to.
Republic, the view from our balcony here in Napa. Happy Valentine's Day from Malibu. Greetings from the Gold Coast.
He's probably like, dang, babe, I got so lucky. God is so good to me that I met you and that you're able to work the way that you work. And what do you need help with? I'm going to help you with your job. Oh, do I need to fill out this paperwork? Just tell me how to do it. And then next time it comes through, I could do it on my own. Like, she was working his ass. Pause. And so I'm curious if he knew that this was fraudulent. I'm wondering if he thought they were running a legit business. You know when sometimes things seem too good to be true? Believe that shit. Believe it. Because now that I found out that she is the mastermind, I am about to start talking shit. And this is where people get that binary does not like black women. I don't care what y'all think about me. I don't care. She was the mastermind of this shit. So I'm going to talk shit.
Of Australia.
Over a 3 to 4 year period, Tim and Letitia Heron were true jet setters in their private $900,000 plane.
Damn. How tall is this dude? He looks like he got about 2 inches above her. Okay, let's say he's 5'8". Okay, she's 5'6". Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's say he's 6'2". Damn, she's 6 foot. Let's say he's 6'4". Damn, she's 6'2". And they both solid. Now, if you take a close look at her, she does have a big ass head. And if they were to get to fighting, she might give him a run for his money. She give me a run for my money. There is nobody, no one to outrun me. She give me a run for my money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely. Feeling lovely. She was kicking his ass. She was kicking his ass. Oh, shit.
The tropical photos are breathtaking. The high-end meals in
She looked like she'll kick his ass in this photo. I ain't one to judge, but she looked like she would bust his ass in this photo. She looked like she'd be bench pressing. He looked like he just be eating Takis and licking his fingers watching the game. I cannot believe she was the mastermind. She do got a big ass head though, so I might as well believe it.
Las Vegas, mouthwatering. Pictures and stories we all helped pay for.
Look at this shit. She looked like Terrell Suggs. Look him up. She an outside linebacker. She an outside linebacker. She know how to read. She know how to read offenses. She knows offset, tight end, weak side, strong side. She looked like she will kick his ass. Sign the papers. Okay. He doesn't get out until 2029. She doesn't get out until 2031. I wonder what the dynamic of their relationship is going to be during those times.
After they submitted $17 million in fraudulent bills to
God damn. $17 million. $17 million. Derell tried to bill 4 million measly bucks, according to Umar Johnson. Y'all just send me $250,000 damn dollars. The white man just asking, you sending millions of dollars. Black folks just send me, you trifling Negroes, just send me a measly ass $250,000. Hey, Catherine Powell, what's up, friend? Good to see you. $17 million they stole from Medicaid. And now the hubby wants out. That's some greedy ass shit.
to the state Medicaid system. Tim Herron recently filed a motion in federal court for compassionate release for health reasons. He lists several illnesses that are high risk factors if he gets COVID. Herron also mentions a head injury as a reason to let him out or reduce his sentence.
You want to talk about somebody that has privilege? To even suggest that. Yeah, I have chronic headaches. I need out of prison, please. I have back problems. I need out of prison, please. You didn't have those chronic headaches when you was stealing from Medicaid $17 million. Your back looked good as you was posing in that picture, sipping on that gin and juice in that private plane that cost you $900,000. Look. Let me just say this. They stole $17 million And they decided to spend one of those 17 million on a $1 million private jet. I can't stand how dumb we are with money, man. We are stupid with money. So they went from 17 to 16 just like that, when some of us won't even sniff $1 million. One of them things. At a snap of a finger, they went from 17 to 16. Just like that. And let's not even talk about the upkeep. $1 million for the private jet, with probably $500,000 to $600,000 worth of repairs and fuel a year on that bitch. So $1 million to buy the jet and almost $1 million to keep that thing running per year. So this lady and her husband were planning on frauding the Medicare system until they died. Damn.
Tim Herron is currently scheduled to get out in 2029. His wife, 2 years later, because she played a bigger role in the fraud. The government already seized their bank accounts, cars, high-end clothing, and more. Prosecutors haven't replied yet to challenge his motion.
Ah, shit, y'all. Everything got seized. Can't even pass nothing on to the kids. No, I would not try it. Nope. Look, if I was frauding the system, I would do everything in my power to stay low key. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You just want to bring all this attention to yourself as you stealing? That's why I don't know if the husband even knew he was stealing. He probably didn't know he was stealing until the FBI opened up, knocked at his mother effing door. And then his wife, that looks like Derell Suggs, had to explain to him that that money wasn't good money. I doubt it though, but he probably, more than likely, he knew the whole time. But I don't know why. Forgive me, you guys, but I am a little bit more upset now that I see that the wife was the mastermind behind it all. Kind of pisses me off. Just a little bit more upset about that. I got my nephew coming over. He's going to come hang out with me. So I got to be listening for the door. So I have my office door open. And so I got to be listening. He's going to be coming over and hanging out. And when he does show up, I don't have to get off of the live stream right away. I still have a little bit of time because I have some people coming over, though, that is helping me pack up the house, you guys. I don't know exactly where we're moving. I just know that we're going to be moving soon. And so they're coming over to help me kind of pack up, clean out my yard a little bit. And that's that, so there's that. Yeah, Gemini said he knew. Yeah, he knew. He knew. There ain't no way he didn't know. Ain't no way. Ain't no way nah. Ain't no way. Hold on, give me a second, because I want to make sure I got this right. Shit. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. Oh, yeah. Sharita Richardson. I want you guys to look up Sharita Richardson. Sharita Richardson. Because Sharita Richardson, she went from being a respected educator and guess what? A mental health business owner to guess what? A federal mother effing inmate. A federal inmate. And she shared her story. Now, before we get into that, let me see if I didn't close down Recognize This Game stuff once I figured out that was him. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, here we go. Let me go here like this, because there is something that I found interesting. Where the hell is it? What the hell? What the helly? Where is it? Oh, was it an upload video? I think it was. Oh yeah, it was an upload video. Shit. Oh, wait, am I tripping? It was re-uploaded. Oh, no wonder, because there it is. It says 2 days ago. Recognize game. See, recognize game knows how to stay in the algorithm. No wonder I thought it was it was uploaded. So listen, Derell is actually smart because he has been laying low. He has been laying low. I could have sworn I was like, damn, this was 2 days ago. Damn, like seriously, you really doing an interview? Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, all right. So I gotta put a banner up only because I don't know how recognized game really gives it up as far as striking and all that bullshit. So let me go ahead and share this screen real quick. Boom. Let's go here. Now let me go here. Mind you, hindsight is 2020, and we are the best detectives when we have all of the information. It's easy to do our job when we have all of the information, right? So let's go ahead and listen, and I will put the settings on not 1.5. Let's go 1.25 speed. Let's go 1.25 speed, even though we could probably get away with 1.5. But let's go 1.25 speed. And there's only a few spots that I want to really highlight, right? I don't really want to highlight the conversation that he has. I just want to highlight some of the descriptors that Derell gives. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen. Here we go. Wait, did I share my screen? Let me know if y'all can hear this shit.
What's up with you, Derell?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Long time no hear.
Hey, man, good to see you. Good to hear from you, man.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we got a lot of.
Can y'all hear that shit? Let me know if y'all can hear that real quick. Let me know if you can hear that.
Current events to touch on, man. I know you're a leading figure in that Umar sector, even though I know you've been falling back.
Boom. So Recognized Game just said that Derell is a leading figure in the Umar Johnson sector. And don't forget that this was re-uploaded 2 days ago, and it was clipped from something else off of his channel. And so that means Recognized Game wanted that to be mentioned, right? He could have put that shit anywhere. I mean, he could have clipped that part out, you know what I mean? But he didn't, because he wanted us to realize that Derell is a leading figure in the Umar Johnson sector. I just need to know if y'all can hear that shit though. Y'all hearing it here? I don't know. I'm just gonna play it as if you can hear it. Okay, here we go.
For a little minute, and rightfully so. But I want you to fill the people in. Derell, a therapist, correct?
Yes, sir.
And also a Pan-African.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so obviously.
Okay, so he is a therapist. Okay, thank you, Rennie. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Okay, so he is a therapist and he's a Pan-African, right? That's a descriptor. He is being accused of stealing. He is being accused of Medicaid fraud and identity theft. So as he continues with these descriptors, we have to remember what he's being accused of. Don't lose sight. Here we go.
We understand the correlation in the.
Ah, damn it. Why are you calling me, man? Give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Damn, I should have just let that shit run. I should just let that shit run. Thank y'all for hanging in there, though. Thank y'all for waiting. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that. All right. What? D. Derell is not a Pan-Africanist. D. Derell hates other black people. Damn, Kevin Kelly shit coming in hot. My beef with D. Derell started in the manosphere because I'm a Jamaican and he claims to not like us black Caribbean people on Reg the Bad Guys channel. Oh shit. Damn, D. Derell. Damn, brother. Come on, man. All right, here we go.
And why you aligned with Umar early on. But tell us a little bit of background. Fill us in on your involvement with the FDMG school program.
Okay, so I became aware of Umar Johnson back in 2014 as I was providing therapy and counseling related services for actually ADHD children that had behavioral disorders.
I had no idea. So back in 2014, D. Derell's primary focus for his therapy services was kiddos with ADHD. Let me bring up the I gotta do the I'm not a robot shit. Let me bring up the article that was written on D. Derell. And I gotta remember, I'm trying to figure out how far back they went. The indictment alleges that from 2016 to 2024. So they went back to 2016, and something that Anti-Afros Fingali put me up on game is they would only go back 10 years. They won't go back further than that. Okay. That's right. So 2 years prior to the 2016 that the federal grand jury put that 9-count indictment on D. Derell, he was doing services. He was giving services to kiddos with ADHD. And so his attraction to what Umar had going on was related to the services that he was providing for the black community, apparently, allegedly, maybe. Because we don't know if D. Derell's therapy sessions were real. Were those invisible black boys? were they fictitious people? Oh, shit. What's the difference? Umar has a school that's never going to be built. And did D. Derell service black children with ADHD that never met him a day in their mother effing life? God damn, the parallels are uncanny. Let's rewind. Here we go.
Services for actually ADHD children that had behavioral disorders. And so I was made aware of Umar Johnson by one of the parents who had issues with the behavior of her son. Umar came to the Shrine of the Black Madonna, which is a Pan-African Orthodox Christian church. I heard him speak. I also, even though I wasn't big on YouTube at the time, I did research and I liked a lot of what he had to say. I liked the concept of the school and pretty much the fact that I was happy to see, other mental health professionals who spoke on some of the things about kids who are wrongly misdiagnosed, medication and stuff, which are some of the things that Umar spoke of. And so it wasn't until I began to really start watching YouTube more, like in 2016, and I started doing content, that I became more of a quote unquote Umar supporter. I didn't do a lot of videos. You know, I like the concept of the school. I thought the concept of the school was needed.
All right. And so, okay, he's talking about, you know, why he, you know, chose to support Umar Johnson. That's cool. That's cool. Remember, we are not here to really listen to the interview. We are here to find some descriptors. So let's go ahead and keep going. Here we go.
Take about 5 or 6 years. Okay. Now, when people, you know, of course, I did videos sporadically. Okay, I didn't do like I did videos sporadically in 17. It wasn't until the latter end of 2018 where my videos began to circulate. And then I started attracting certain type of people who hated me because I had this support for Umar. And so,
hold on.
Okay, we're gonna jump back into this, but he started doing videos. So you bought the bottle of beer. Nah. So he started doing videos in 2017. The indictment goes back to 2016. Leading up to 2024. So as he's starting to do these videos, he knows that according to these allegations, that he might be into some nefarious-ish. Why do people, when they are in situations, want to flaunt or want to be seen and recognized only to make themselves an easier, bigger target for the FBI? We just watched that couple that just got $17 million from the poor, from people that desperately needed their therapeutic services. And they bought $1 million private jet. They bought all this fancy ass food, and you could tell they ate it. On all these luxury ass cruises and all kinds of stuff. And so now we have Derell in 2017, 2018 doing his big one on YouTube. Don't miss the backdrop of when we have these descriptors. He called himself a licensed therapist, that when he met Umar, it was because he was servicing children with ADHD, and he met somebody whose son was having behavioral issues and introduced him to Umar. Met Umar at the Shrine of the Black Madonna Church in Texas and wanted to support him then. Fast forward, he sees that Umar's on this social media kick. He sees that people are attacking him. He starts up his shit, starts sparking his shit up. 2017 is when it kicked off. 2018 is when he started getting active. YouTube is a hell of a drug. If you are Derell, you personally, yes you too, identity, you personally, would you try to be as active on YouTube knowing all the shit that you got going on in your real life? It just don't make no sense to me is all I'm saying. Don't make no damn sense. Here we go.
And when you say it was a certain...
Make a Chain said, it's crazy that the Umar sector started to... It's crazy that the Umar sector started to stop the fraud, and people in the Umar sector ended up defrauding the people. God damn.
Group of people, a certain type of people. Who was it? Who was hating you for supporting Umar? Because he talks about that a lot. He says,
so some of the people, I'm not going to mention their name, but there's a group of people, anti-fraud warriors and etc., who made it.
I'm not going to mention their name and then drop their whole organizational name. I guess you're not going to drop their individual name.
Their life's work to destroy Umar Johnson and even lie about things and put out misleading information. And so
Birds of a feather. Listen, he's saying the anti-fraud warriors, just please listen, made it their life's work to destroy who? Umar. And in turn, Derell ended up being exposed and who knows, maybe destroyed. Ain't that some shit? Damn. Plot twist. Shit.
My issue with them wasn't the fact that, to me, if you don't like Umar, you don't agree with what he's doing, that's one thing. Then you had people like Lennon Honor, who was also associated with that. I don't want to name drop, but I guess due to the relevancy of how this has, because they're monetizing off of this, so I guess it's appropriate to do so. But I started attracting people like that to my channel, and we started off cordial.
Let's just say the allegations against Derell, and don't forget, I'm not just blowing smoke. There are allegations. He's going through some shit. I am so glad that this is a re-uploaded video and interview that we're listening to, that it says that was done 2 days ago. Because if I was Derell, I would not be on the internet. I would not be doing that shit. And I'm not gonna lie, I was hating because I was like, I begged you to come on my platform to talk about it, but now you everywhere but over here. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be talking about none of this shit. I wouldn't be talking about none of this shit. You know?
And then channel. And we started off cordial.
Oh no, this is what I wanted to say. That's why I rewound, because I knew I missed my point. He said he started attracting people like this to his platform, i.e. the anti-fraud warriors. How the hell does that sound, knowing you are being accused of identity theft and Medicaid fraud? So your attraction, so the anti-fraud warriors' attraction to your channel is valid? Yeah, shit. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Here we go.
And then they began to hate my guts, tried to, ruin my career. And they did all this looking up information, doxing, and all of this kind of stuff because I continued to support them. And of course, down the line, I ended up meeting you. I found your channel. And what I liked about you is that you gave a unique perspective on an IPO school, or as far as an IPO needed to hear. Like, let's.
As a trader,
sorry, y'all, fast forward.
Other people were up there here were trying to, this stuff about his degrees. You actually came up with aware of it. Like when I heard your video, I spent like 3 minimal understanding of it, raising the capital, going through that whole process. And so I reached out to you. And I wanted, we began to communicate and stuff like that. If Umar's not doing this, we should do this. Like there was a guy in the manosphere.
All right, so Derell reaches out to Recognize Games saying, hey, how can I support you? Because I don't know what Umar's really, really doing. I want to support you. Now, if you don't know where the money's coming from and somebody is investing in your company or in your idea, your vision or whatever, can you be held accountable? Like, let's just say Derell blesses the platform that I got going on over here because he believes in the vision and he wants to give me $100,000 so that, I don't have to worry about, going to work for a year, even though I will be losing. I'm not going to tell you how much I make, even though I will be losing some money. If somebody was to give me $100,000 and say, hey, I just want you to focus on this one thing, I could sacrifice the money that I would be losing to do that and not have to worry about, going out and doing those that 9-to-5 stuff. I could sacrifice that for a year. I could do it. I will adjust my life. I just know, I got this 100,000. Now, let's just say 2 years down the line, I realized, damn, that money came from Medicaid fraud. So unknowingly accepted this money that came from, can I get in trouble for that? And I used that $100,000 to better my YouTube career or whatever. Could I get in trouble for that? Because Derell now is focusing on recognized game in his IPO school that he wants to do. That he wants to rival Umar with. And if Derell wants to start, helping Recognized Game out, could Recognized Game get in trouble for that? If Recognized Game got $20,000, because according to Derell in this interview, he's given Umar Johnson 5 figures, so 10,000 and up. He's giving him. It's a lot of damn money. Could we possibly get in trouble? I don't know. Hey, what up, Anti? Good to see you. What up, Bloop? All right, lovely one. He who has the most money is at the top, unfortunately, until you get popped. Here we go.
They talked about Umar should do a online school. So I looked at that as a possibility. Those are, maybe look for people that, if we want to do this, let's look at all possibilities. Okay.
Having said that, you are actually a businessman, a business person, somebody who actually has a facility, someone who has actually raised capital in whatever various ways that you had to get your business started and off the ground and to actually sustain the business. So you have some pertinent business and life experience. But when you saw that Umar was running things a certain way.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Don't forget, we're not listening to this for the interview's sake. We are listening to this for descriptors, right? So don't forget, Derell said in the beginning that the reason why he met Umar was because in 2014, himself, Derell, was doing therapy for kiddos with ADHD. And a kid's mother introduced him to Derell, saying, "Hey, have you ever met Derell?" I mean, introduced him to Umar. Have you ever heard of Umar? Have you ever heard of whoop-de-whoop? So that was a descriptor, right? We went back to the article. The article starts at 2016. So 2 years before that, the Medicaid billing was for children, right, with ADHD. Now we have to side-eye if those children even existed or if they even got services based on the indictments and what's being alleged, right? We have to even question that shit. And then we move into the 2016, 2017, 2018, when the FBI started tracking his ass. And that's when he started his whole YouTube shit. And so I was curious as to why would you want to be a full-fledged content creator knowing you got all this shit going on in the background? And don't forget, we shared that story of that black lady and that white man that were married that was doing the same thing, except for they got $17 million out of it, and they were flaunting. And don't forget, I told y'all that I did research, and back in the day, it was almost common practice for people to rip off the system because there wasn't as many guardrails as there is now in order to have a business and to build. And so people were ripping the system off. And then as those guardrails started coming up, they had to find more creative ways to bill. And that's when the FBI fully got involved and started busting these people. Because once they started putting all these unique standards, what is it called? No, not standards. What am I looking for? These strenuous, what is the word? Shit, not obligations, demands, I guess. These strenuous demands on what needs to happen in order for your business to run. And so your overhead went up and all that. People started being fraudulent. And so now here's another descriptor. Recognized Game doesn't really know too much about Derell, but he knows that Derell is a businessman that owns his own facilities and that has raised money somehow, is what Recognized Game said. Somehow has raised money. In my humble opinion, Derell has always been trying to figure out a way to shift his money. He was banking on himself. Himself has failed. He was banking on himself to shift money via YouTube. Maybe if I can get this YouTube shit popping off, I could stop the billing. He was banking on shifting his money to Dollar Generals, to Derell Life Solutions. He was always trying to shift that money because the paper trail led to identity theft and Medicaid fraud. He wanted to try to put a roadblock that will not point to those two indicators of where his money is coming from. So he has some kind of persona of businessman, money making, and investing. He put that persona out, and now we know where the money has come from, allegedly. There's still a case that needs to happen, but let's listen.
You didn't really see how he was running things until after you had donated. Now, like most other people who complain about Umar, they have never given Umar a dime. But you, as a Pan-African.
So Identity said, oh, damn, he cheated the babies too? I thought he was only robbing dead people. Shit. Dumpsy provided minimal services. It's easy to tell based on the terminology and phraseology. He's not with the current times. He rented an office for the scam's sake. Shit. Lovely one said they just couldn't help themselves. Yeah, they have to flaunt that shit. It's sad. Yeah, Beans of Cornbread, this is the Code Fam sector. I am back. I'm talking about Derell and all the shit he's going through. That's not true, Binary. He was throwing those stolen dubs around and calling himself Goofy Father, Lord Jesus. What up, the Bushes? What's going on now?
As a therapist, somebody that's in the field, you have actually contributed a great deal. Right. Monetarily and as well as promoting this opportunity. How do you feel about the recent occurrences with the school? And
okay, let's fast forward. I don't.
And as you know, and I've done videos.
I don't think there's scripters on this. I think he's just talking about his, level of disappointment with Umar.
How long since your first donation?
I first donated to Umar Johnson, I want to say September or October. Because I remember when he first came to Houston, it was October 2014.
Okay, whoa, that's
all right. So when he was doing his therapy for kiddos with ADHD, and that woman came to him and introduced him to Umar Johnson, immediately he started donating. And he says, even in this interview, that, he'd get $50 a month. Then it went to like $100 a month. Then it went to like $200 a month, right? And so he said over the course of the years that he's been giving, and he said it was very consistent. So over the course of the years he's been giving, he had to have easily gave over 5 figures. Maybe, I don't know, break out the calculator, right? Break out the calculator. Let's see here. Let me do my calculations. Let's go 200 times 12. That's 2,400. And let's just say he gave for 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 5 years. So times 5. Yeah, $12,000. Shit. Okay. Let's listen.
A long time ago.
Yeah, October 2014. And I stopped donating somewhere around maybe March or April of 2022. I stopped.
Oh, shit. So 2014 to 2022, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 8 years. Shit. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. Yeah, 8 years. Okay. All right. So let's do that again. Times 8. He gave him $20,000 pretty much. $19,200. Pretty much. According to his math. Damn. He was throwing money around the B sector, hoping to gain popularity with some old women. Shit. During the live back in the day, Derell said he gave Umar $10,000. So now he's saying he gave him $20,000. Did you just use your fingers to count 20? Yes, I did. I sure did. Damn it. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Look. Don't teach me some shit and then not expect me to use it. Damn it. They taught me how to use my fingers in kindergarten, and I've been doing it ever since. Leave me the hell alone.
Donate.
Now, today,
It was about 8 years. I donated for 8 years.
So to date, how much money would you say you've contributed to the FDMG? I don't know, maybe
Not the app that had FDMG. I never donated specifically to
well,
it's somewhere between.
You're actually well known on record to date. So
well, I don't know, but I definitely, I'm gonna say this. It was definitely around 5 figures. Donations were anywhere between $50 to $200 over 8 years.
Over 8 years.
And then it grew to 100. Then I think 200 was my max, but I was giving that money consistently, at least 8 times a year, somewhere between 5 to 8 times a year for the last 8 years.
All right, so I guess it wasn't every. I guess it wasn't every month. So yeah, about 10,000 then, Mac. Yeah. I can see that.
And Wilmington, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, is actually coming to auction off, or they've frozen his accounts, the FDMG account, specified with the recent occurrence.
That's a good question. Okay. Due to the status that I have as a licensed professional counselor.
There's a descriptor. This is what we're here for. We are not here for the interview. We are here for descriptors. Due to the status that I have as a licensed, wait, what did he say? Now, Recognized Game was wondering if Derell was going to sue Umar Johnson because does he think that Umar Johnson scammed him? Okay, so let's go back to the descriptor. Here we go.
Due to the status that I have as a licensed professional counselor.
Okay, a licensed professional counselor. This is 2025 that this interview has happened. The FBI shit has already probably, its head has been looming already. He knows that he's under some type of investigation at this point. I don't know if the judge shit has happened. Anti would know that more than me. I don't know if the judge shit has happened. But he is still throwing these titles out there. Why? I think at this particular juncture of his life, it's because he did not think that the shit that's out right now would be out. I can't imagine him throwing out what he does and who he is in his titles today. That's why when I was listening to this the other day, my mind was blown because I thought it was a recent ass interview. But it's still recent enough because he was going through it at this time. I'm pretty sure he was made aware. I'm almost positive he was made aware that they was on his ass. Just saying. Dumpsy displays the typical Umar Johnson reject behavior. Hurt that Umar didn't make him a part of his life, mention his name, and etc. Okay. He sent to 20 racks and you won't hear Umar give him a good luck shout out in the coming months. No, those are facts. Those are facts. You see, Umar probably doesn't even realize Derell sent him that much money. Because it's, monthly, right? Sometimes you lose track. Like I have some dope, listen, shit. I have some supporters that be supporting my black ass. I have some supporters that be supporting. And if I went to my Cash App and I did the hit button of how much they have sent me over the course of since they started supporting me, my jaw would probably hit the floor and I would owe them even the more thanks that I give now. Because as content creators, sometimes you lose sight of money adds up. And then over the course of a year or 2 years, and this person and these people, especially my folk, the way that they support me, the shit adds up. That's why I don't take support for granted. But Umar, there's no way he would look at shit that way. Ain't no way. Derell was a solid 50 for Umar. And then he became a solid 100, and then he became a solid 200. The only way that Derell's $20,000 would have caught Umar's eye is if he gave him $20,000 in one fell swoop in one lump sum. It doesn't matter that he gave him that much money spread out over the course of 8 years. It would have mattered to Umar if Derell saved that money and then, out of a show of good faith and gesture or whatever, just dropped the whole 20K. Then all of a sudden, Umar would be singing his praises, because that's just how frail and weak and dumb-minded a lot of people are. And let me not throw beef sector people under the bus, but there are content creators that I used to consistently support that have got way more money than $300 from me if they add the shit up. But because Lemon gave me money, I saved it to troll him on a rainy day, and I gave it back. Those same content creators was losing their shit because all they could see was a big number, $300. They could not see loyalty. They could not see faithfulness. They could not see consistency. And why am I so dumb to think that people would think with that type of perspective and through those lenses? That's just dumb. I am in a sector that is filled with instant gratification. And I was able to pluck out people that have logic and reason behind them. And we created our own mother effing lane. So there's that. Here we go. What up, QI? What's going on with you now? I wonder if the feds will connect Derell and Umar. Nah, they won't. They won't connect the two. No, no, they won't connect them because they weren't moving in tandem like that. Umar, unfortunately for Derell at that time, probably fortunate now, but unfortunately for Derell at that time, Umar never connected with Derell. I'm telling you, Umar never even associated Derell with his brand at all, but trust me, he was accepting that money. Derell's Cash Apps, Venmos, not super chats, whatever, however he was sending the money, it got caught up in the wash. It's almost like tithing, right? When they used to pass the plate, if you didn't write your name on the mother effing envelope and you just put your $100 bill in there or this or that or this or that, it just gets counted with all the other money. But if you put it in a fancy ass envelope and you make sure that boom, 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 whoop de whoop, woo wop de bam, and you put it in that mother effing collection plate, now all of a sudden there's the splash, right? So Derell never had that splash with Umar. I hope that made sense. Let's listen. So the descriptor is he's a licensed counselor. He's throwing out these titles associating himself only to give the FBI more mother effing ammo. Umar thought that the consistent massive amount of money Dumpsy sent was going to come with the thick strings and heavy chains. Umar was not about to get involved with Dumpsy for that reason. I don't even think he was on his radar, to be honest. But they think that was but they think that way, Binary. And when you show support, you become a target. Ain't that some shit? Facts. Umar didn't know where Derell's money was coming from. Right. Okay, here we go.
Who happens to be a mental health provider. I have to be careful on the type of labels that I give someone without having.
I'm a licensed counselor that happens to be a mental health provider. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? I'm a licensed counselor that happens to give mental health. Wait, let's rewind that shit. We gotta rewind this shit. Hold on.
Question. Okay. Due to the status that I have as a licensed professional counselor who happens to be a mental health provider, I have to be careful on the type of labels that I give someone.
What the hell does that mean? I am a licensed counselor professional that happens to be a mental health provider. Is it double talk? Like, is he saying the same thing in two different ways? Like, all I know is the FBI will take this and say, remember when you said you were this? And remember this, like the Medicaid fraud, identity theft. They're just tying the shit together.
Without having adequate written information that would make it appropriate for me to assume someone would do something that would be deemed as breaking the law. At this point, I'm going to say I don't think he's scammed. I just think that he showed that he's inefficient at running a business. And now, do I think that? Am I not saying he didn't? I'm not saying he didn't scam, because it's potentially looking like that. But I'm not going to come out on the record and say he's scamming yet. I'm not ready to do that unless I start seeing some charges or some other information.
What about if you start seeing some indictments? See, people get upset with me. Why are you doing this to Derell? He was a big supporter of yours. He could still be a big supporter of mine. He could. But that's not going to stop me from giving the story. I'm not in anybody's pocket, you guys. And I won't be. If there's a story, I'm going to cover it. If I'm fascinated by it, I'm going to cover it. That's why I'm so glad that I am not linked up or clicked up or this or that, because Shakim is having a hell of a time with his independence right now because of how many circles he was running in. And now he's finally going to be free, but damn it, he's going through a lot just to be free. Ain't no way. The only time I will appear to be in a group is if I'm in a season, like, you know, it's summertime, I'm in a season and I want the exit. I can't wait for the exit of the group. Like a Pettyville or some shit. Or the Intels. You know what I mean? Like, everybody thought I was in that shit. Come on now. Always been independent. It's content at the end of the day.
That he would have to deal with legally for me to say Umar scam. I'm not ready to do that, because I understand that me doing that could be seen in a certain way. And I don't want people reporting this and reporting that, and I have to answer the things that other people wouldn't have to. So I reserved my right to actually give him that label unless I see some adequate information on paper to say so. But it is not out of the possibilities that he scammed the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's a lot of chatter right now, not only in the Pan-African community, but all over the world right now.
Yeah, it is.
And from Lenore's estimations, Umar has raised approximately $1.6 million, but we can't be concrete on the figures. But people
you said what? 4.6 million?
1.6 million is what Lenore is saying. But then
that's about accurate. I would.
Is this okay? Have y'all ever heard of Chris? Y'all heard of Chris Watts? Chris Watts has went viral. He's the one that did in his family, his kids, all that shit. Threw him in the oil tanks and shit. Just disgusting, right? And then as the police and everybody's trying to locate his wife, in whom he unalived and shit like that. He's at his neighbor's house because his neighbor has video footage, and so now Chris Watts and the police officers are at his neighbor's house, and as his neighbor's video footage is starting to warm up, they have like a commercial on the mother effing TV. So Chris Watts with the police and his nosy ass neighbor, thank God for nosy ass neighbors, is looking at this TV waiting for this video footage to upload. A commercial comes on with a baby covered in oil. Don't forget, Chris Watts put his babies in oil tanks. A commercial comes on while they're waiting for footage to be uploaded from the neighbor's mother effing security system of a baby. So I'm just saying, ain't it crazy how the universe works? Recognized Game in Derell 4 months ago, we're talking about numbers. And they talked about 4 million to 1.5 million. Or 1.6 million. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Don't forget, Derell tried to bill Medicaid 4 million and ended up getting 1.5 million. That had to, like when Chris Watts was looking at that TV screen and he seen them babies in oil, covered in oil, he put his hands on top of his head and started rubbing his fingers together. Very uncomfortable. You can tell how uncomfortable he was. That's the universe's way of saying, we gonna get your ass. Derell in Recognized Game is talking about Umar Johnson scamming the community out of 4 million or 1.6 million when the Medicaid people said that Derell tried to bill for, hold on, I'm going to it, 4 million and actually got paid 1.5 million. God damn.
$6 million, but we can't be concrete on the figures, but people are.
You said what? 4.6 million?
1.6 million is what Lenore is saying, but then
that's about accurate. I would say, I actually think it's more than that.
Yeah, you have other people saying around 5 million.
Let me tell you, my estimate is around 3, and this is why it's around 3. I'm gonna say around 3 million, and I'm gonna tell you why. And this is record, so I'm gonna let people understand. I'm not throwing out this on another channel.
No, he ain't throwing out numbers because he's familiar. Shit, I tried to get 4. I got 1.5. Oh shit! Oh, damn! I ain't just throwing out numbers. Shit, bro. This is crazy work.
Prior to coming here, and this young lady, shout out to her. She was posting the Roland Martin and with the other people around $700,000. That was 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. So there's nowhere in the world I would think 6 years later he only raised $400,000. No, it's in the millions.
You never know with the donation ask and the media, new donors coming and seeing him acting like a damn donkey. That's probably somebody who's familiar with him, but to get.
I know it sounds like the video skipping. Don't forget, I'm not really trying to listen to the interview. I'm only really trying to find descriptors, right? That's what we're doing. We're finding descriptors of how Derell describes himself, describes his work activity, and things like that. We're just breaking all that kind of shit down. You know what I'm saying? So here we go.
It's you to send you're driving a hard bargain, man. But look, I want to get into. Is that all you had on that? Because I wanted to get.
The other thing I wanted to talk about as it relates to the numbers, and this is something that people think was actually a very conservative number, because we're not taking into account. See, people are all it reflects to what is happening today. This is not the first time they froze Umar account. They froze those. All
right, so yeah, he was getting into the GoFundMe shit right there, and that's why I don't watch much news.
Those accounts in 2000.
Yeah, how about that?
And you know how much?
2 accounts with 400.
Around $400,000 between.
Now, here's the interesting thing about this, and I'm not gonna let this shit slide. So let me go ahead and rewind it, and I'm gonna show y'all just how this is why. Whenever my life is busy, because you're about to enter into my mind for 2 seconds. Whenever my life is busy, this is why I don't dedicate so much time to YouTube. Because when I dedicate my time to YouTube, I really do pay attention. I'm not like Bree, right? Bree don't be paying attention to shit and wants everybody to bring her the information. And I'm starting to see room shakers the same way. Like not really paying attention to nothing and want people to come to their platform and bring them the information. I want y'all to catch this, because this is the type of shit that could get you in trouble. Derell is trying to tell Recognized Game that Umar pretty much got about $200,000 frozen from GoFundMe. Recognized Game is not understanding the figures, and so Derell is trying his hardest to break it down, saying one account, it was 2 GoFundMe accounts. One account had they both had $100,000 in it, which equals what? $200,000. Didn't have to use my fingers, identity. $200,000. Recognized Game tried to say, oh, so he had 2 accounts for $200,000, so he scammed for about $400,000. I know that doesn't seem like much, but that's a huge difference. You just doubled what this man actually took and what his account got frozen, and you didn't correct it, Derell. You were trying to correct it by repeating what you were saying, but you should have told him no, not $400,000, $200,000. But because it was salacious and the number was high, you didn't clearly correct him. Listen.
He got frozen. See, people forget about that. I remember.
Yeah, how about that?
And you know how much money that was in those accounts? Both of them had upwards of $200,000 between both.
Both of them had upwards of $200,000 between both. So, Recognized Game, if you can see his face right now, he's doing the calculations in his head. So, between both accounts, it was $200,000. That's what Derell's trying to say. But because sometimes Derell's thoughts don't always connect, you could be left with this confusion. Why not just stop Recognized Game and clear the shit up instead of continuously confusing him with numbers? Now, $200,000 is different than $300,000. So because Derell doesn't want to stop and correct Recognized Game, he put an extra $50,000 in each account. Watch. I know it sounds all mumble jumbled right now what I'm saying, but watch this shit. Watch. It's crazy how this works.
See, people forget about that. I remember.
Yeah, how about that?
And you know how much money that was in those accounts? Both of them had upwards of $200,000 between both.
2 accounts with so 400.
Around $400,000 between them both. Somewhere it was around 100, somewhere around 150 to 200,000 in both the GoFundMe and which he lost that money.
See this nigga, damn, he had me say nigga. This Negro lying, man. So you saying you bought the bottle of beer at 10:30 p. Yeah. You know you done fucked up, right? So now it's $150,000. Now it's $200,000 between both. Now it's one for the GoFundMe and one for some other account. Brother. Anti said Dumpsy expects Umar to be okay with his paid flunkies calling the electric company on Umar abandoned bombshell FDMG building while on Dumpsy's channel laughing and all kinds of shit. I don't know if Umar's clocking Derell like that though, Anti. I don't think he's clocking him like that. But all I know is Derell just doubled how much money was frozen in Umar's account. And if the FBI is watching Derell, and if they do what QI is suggesting they're going to do, and they tie them together, they're going to be asking Umar, where's this extra 200,000? And Umar's going to be like, I don't even know that fool. And then they'll be like, yeah, but he sent you $20,000. You got to know something about him. Damn.
And you know how much money that was in those accounts? Both of them had upwards of $200,000 between both.
2 accounts with so 400.
Around $400,000 between them both. Somewhere it was around 100, somewhere around 150 to 200,000 in both the GoFundMe and which he lost that money. That people don't understand. He lost that money.
And that was in what year?
That was around 2018, 2019. When I started doing this is when I really began to get into my Umar content. They froze that GoFundMe and that PayPal account. It's not the first time this has happened. The apps, those third-party apps have been scrutinizing Umar Johnson for years.
That's crazy.
So this is not nothing. So when people all up, and I'm trying to figure out what's the outrage because I'm like, this has happened before.
Oh, just so you know, Anti, I only talk trash about Brianna because she was clowning on me. So yeah, I like Brianna, low key, I do. But I'm gonna keep talking my trash. You know, you say Brianna only pretends not to pay attention, yet she has very strong opinions about issues she claims to not know anything about. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Now it has different a bank account. Yeah,
people don't know about that. I mean, how could he get people to continue?
Particularly that GoFundMe, the GoFundMe account was the one that really not necessarily the PayPal, but it was definitely that GoFundMe account.
So he's saying that Umar Johnson, Anti would know better than anybody. He's saying that Umar Johnson had $200,000 in his PayPal now only because he could not tell Recognized Game that no, between both is $200,000. Ain't no way he had $200,000 in his PayPal. Umar Johnson was complaining about $250,000 being sent to him by black people over the course of 2 or 3 years. And when the white man just asks, he gets a couple of million in minutes.
Account that if my memory serves me correct, that GoFundMe account had a lot of money in it, and that money they froze that account. Because I'm gonna be honest, when I began to donate with,
you see, now he's trying to go heavily into the GoFundMe account because he knows he just put a false jacket on that man, Umar. Shout out to Lady Snoop. Thank you for being over here, showing a little bit of love. You know, this is Umar Sector content. There we go, ghetto already. You know, Umar Johnson Sector content. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for swooping in. Look, just coming in and saying hi. That is a view. So thank you guys so much for the love and support. Binary, you know I was trolling with Trinity this AM. You my man. I would never. I know, ghetto. I know for a fact you was trolling. But I know you wouldn't do it, but I know other people will. You already know how that goes. I put that shit on members so fast it's not even funny. I already knew. You already knew. Everybody already knew. The moment she said it, I knew I was going right to members. The moment she said it, because it does not matter if I stop it, prevent it. After they say it, you know, that's Erda, she wrote. That's it. Writing's on the wall. So it is what it is. But you know, it was a fire ass half live stream, half public, half members. I don't care what nobody says. My members' live streams give the same energy. You know what I mean? That's one thing. I think that's why you guys stay being members when you're members over where I'm at on the main channel, is because it's the same, if not more energy. You know what I mean? Most people, when they do members only, that shit, they're kind of dry. But oh well, here we go. Back to it. We're trying to find descriptors of this interview. We're not really trying to listen to the entire interview.
To Umar, that's where I donated to. I on his website, the Cash App, until probably
school through a Cash App.
That's not.
I've never really seen Umar with any other professionals either. So I just didn't understand how he was going to build a school or even a school program, which is on.
Right identity. Earlier he said Umar can't. He said, just slow down and read, binary. Earlier he said he can't say Umar scammed him, but this part he's saying Umar lied about the amounts. Ain't that some shit? What keeping it plain? What's going on, sir? Salute. Good to see you.
Paper, you know, without any other people, I just don't see anybody else online anywhere else in the universe vouching for what Umar is doing.
And so let me give you some inside information. I guess I could tell. And so listen, professionals and a team. Okay.
What's your take on that?
It's because of Umar Johnson. And so his behavior,
right,
the way he has responded.
I know this Negro is not talking about Umar Johnson's behavior on a team. Let us not forget. Shout out to Caesar salads, romaine lettuce. Eat healthy, drink water. Let us not forget, right, that he actually had court that said you can't supervise people no more. The fuck? You can't even shit.
And he's not easy to work with and deal with. Also, in communication with Umar family members and other people that talk to Umar Johnson is not easy to get along with. Also inconsistent with communication. So, and that's evident by his behavior, but also just looking at at least four times. Now he works well with those that are under his thumb to set up the events and all that stuff. You know, things like that. I'm gonna be honest, man. The lady that we see right now that he is, you know, kind of got disrespectful with and stuff. Mm-hmm. I want to say I saw this lady back in 2022.
Oh yeah.
See, look, because I had to think about.
Now, don't forget, we are not here to solely listen to the interview. All right. I want to keep reiterating that point because when I'm fast forwarding, I don't want y'all to be like, damn, I wanted to know what he wanted to say right there, or this or that, or this or that. No, we are like going timeline and we're looking for descriptors, meaning this is what he says about himself. This is what he says about his profession. This is how he views himself now. And we're also doing timeline. So he says 2022. Don't forget that the FBI was on his ass in 2016. In 2016. So now that he's talking about seeing this lady in 2022 and talking about Umar's behavior, don't forget he was already being investigated. Now, did he know he was being investigated? I don't know. I think he had a sneaking suspicion he was being investigated. I know at the time of this interview with Recognized Game, if it truly was 4 months ago, that he knew something was brewing. You know, so let's go ahead and continue on.
Because I remember when he was in Houston in 2021 or 2022, I want to say it was 22. There was a light skin.
You talking about the what is she the throat?
Yeah, the one that was doing the Shango and didn't take care of his mom and all that.
Okay.
It was a lady that was there with him. I think that was her. But I'm not, but kind of, because I had to, and it kind of over 2.5 years, because I remember seeing a woman that looked similar, like eyes, paperwork, and the tables and all that kind of stuff. I think I met her before. Other people, he's not easy to work with.
Well, every time Umar has any type of issue that he brings to the people, right? It always seems like somebody did something to him. Now he just got either a or he lying. Because every time something happens, Umar says somebody just straight up scammed him.
Blame shifting. We talked about that. We talked about the elements of being a fake-faced, two-faced person. And one of the elements is blame shifting oozing out of your pores.
And it's probably the old blame them for what you're doing.
And so the only consistent person is him. So that tells it all. Like I wholeheartedly think that I'm not going to question his professional knowledge and abilities. But just because you're a competent professional don't mean you're easy to get. Because I know a lot of people I've done business with and interact with in the mental health profession that are not easy and pleasurable to be around.
Is he talking about the people that he says was partnered with him with his business as he was allegedly doing the Medicare fraud? Remember the white folk that we have seen on his website? Those therapists, are those the people that's hard to do business with? The people that, whose licenses you use to go ahead and claim so the false billing, are those people that are not easy to get along with? Is it the people that had to pretty much run from you because you are no longer able to supervise them? Are those the people that, like, come on? Come on. This is crazy. Let's continue.
And do business with, interact with. So that he's not the first and won't be the last. However, when we're talking about interacting and galvanizing people for the purposes of the community for a school, you have to be flexible in your interaction with other people. And
right there. Where do you think, if this were to happen and the FDMG donor group was to actually go out there in North Wilmington and come up there and they start looking at Umar and all cat, it's all cat. What you think? What's the potential? That's a powder keg, in my opinion, because when all those people who actually gave them foiled all of the money,
See, this shows me right here that Recognized Game was not really paying attention to Derell's stance in all of this. And let me break that down after I read what you guys are saying. Make a Change said Umar never really had a team. Anyways, he never had a team. I thought he did have a team, just not a solid team. His team wasn't like concrete, but I thought he did have a nice little group of supporters that were painting the building, if that's what you want to call it, trying to fix the shit, trying to do all those things. I thought he had a little bit of something going on. Anti says Umar's PayPal was stuck because he resisted giving PayPal bank ID info. I spoke to PayPal about donations. Umar finally got the money. Oh, Umar never posted his PayPal statement, so the amount is unknown. Oh, see, yeah. Yeah. So, and I'm not thinking it's $200 and something thousand. I'm just not thinking that. Okay. So the therapist whose identities he stole, that's what I'm saying.
Plans, all the time that was put in. I think Umar might be calling summoning the old group.
So this is why I think Recognized Game is not necessarily paying attention, and he probably formulated questions in his mind that he was going to ask no matter what or no matter which way the content has went, because Derell is on this record of saying that he stopped messing with Umar after all the freezing and all this. Well, he actually stopped giving him money. But we know that Derell went to a Umar Johnson function not even a year or so ago, right? He went to the function. We seen him. He got out of his car. He went there. He was mobbing. I mean, he went to a whole function. So that means Derell knows what the school looks like. Derell sees the dilapidated buildings. Derell sees all this shit. Derell's talking about scamming. That's not scamming. That is scamming. That's all this shit. He's talking about that, but yet he still went and seen him. So that's the kind of supporters that you get when you're dealing with the FDMG community. Recognized Game. It's right in your face. Who you're talking about, who you're referring to, who you think a powder keg needs to happen as far as Umar's concerned and targeting him, who you're talking about, those donors, you're looking at one of them. So it's not going to be what you think. If they go and they see this building all busted up, all Umar needs to do is give a speech and say, hey, this isn't even going to be the building. This is what we tried, we failed. Who doesn't fail? But down the street, there's another building. And they're going to give him more money. It is what it is.
So to speak. What you think? I mean,
I'm going to be honest with you.
What you going to say?
I'm going to be honest with you. As a person who has went to numerous Umar events, I don't think that would happen. Despite everything that has happened, I think that you're going to see a whole bunch of yes men and women. Yes, Umar, you're right. You can't do no wrong. Thing people are not aware of. Don't you know that when he has those events, Umar vets the people who comes to those events? Remember the first
events, not events, events.
family day get together for the FDMG, that festival, the first, looking up whether or not you're on YouTube, information on people. Number one, I didn't know who would know me and run into me and have, it just could have had a lot of dynamics, but he was basically one quote unquote YouTubians
right
there. Man. And so different on that happening because of the vetting system that he had in place.
How about that? But now, I mean, shoot, man, anybody, if it's a public thing, anybody could just fly in North Wilmington on the day that he said
and people did. The camera got turned around. It was some other thing with asking from other people's channels with camcorders and phones that were talking about what happened. My position is that once I learned you had to fill out all this information, I was not wasting my time. And I was actually going to bring me and my son. I never forget, it was September 11th, 2022 or 2023 was the first, I think it was 2022, September 11th. It was on a Saturday. My son had a football game that Friday night. We were going to go to.
All right, this is where he talks about Umar Johnson being more interested in his son than him. Maybe because his son might project more down to earth vibes, more of the times. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe Umar thought that Derell's son could be more of an asset to his brand. I don't know. But this is one of those conversations where it's like, are you jealous because he wanted to talk more with your son about, everything that's going on as far as his life and FDMG and stuff like that? Like, and then he's going to get into talking about professionalism. So, we're going to catch that descriptor of professionalism in a second here. Here we go.
Fly out that morning to go to Delaware and stay for the rest of the weekend, festivities and so forth. But once I learned of that, I knew that it was no way I was going to get approved. It was no use to me wasting my money.
But hold on, you gave Umar, by your estimations and your financial records, you contributed over 5 figures to Umar in the FDMG school.
Yeah, it was around 5 figures. Somewhere right
now. Now, Umar, and that's significant. Now, Umar always tells us if you've never contributed any money, don't ask him because he ain't telling you nothing because you ain't never cut a check. So have you found that to be true? Because it seems to me like you don't know a lot about the underdealings of FDMG. And it seems to me that you want to know those things and you've pondered these questions, but for whatever reason, you have.
Damn, is that a slap in Derell's face right there? He's like, he said, you gave this man over $10,000, right? You gave him over $10,000 and you don't even know the inner workings of the school. You don't know anything about anything. If I was Derell, I would have hung up the interview. I would have shut down the live stream. I would have been gone. That was a low key level of disrespect. Pretty much saying Umar's just snatching your money and ain't giving you no mother effing information. He would rather give the information to your son. Ain't that some shit? Let's listen.
Have been able to actually get any answers from Umar.
Okay, so
as a donator,
I hate to make this public, but I'm gonna go ahead and make it public on Recognized Game Channel. Listen,
do so.
Behind the scenes, man. From what I have heard from multiple situations, from multiple people, including family members, Umar has issues with me, and I don't think he's too fond of me as a content creator.
That's what we're doing. Now, I've probably fell asleep during this part because I don't remember this part. That's breaking news. That Umar doesn't like you. I don't know, man. Does he know you enough to like you or not like you? It seems as if when you go to these events, that he doesn't even really know who you are until you remind him that you're money man. And I'm telling you, it's because Umar is not accumulative. You are $50 man. You are $100 man. You are $200 man. You're not $10,000 man. You're not $20,000 man. That's not you. Even though that's how much you freaking gave. So it's not like he doesn't like you. I honestly believe he doesn't know you.
Why is that? You've been his biggest supporter. You give him.
Hey, what up, Trini? What's going on with you? Why your man name in the title? Because we talking our ish. You know what I'm saying? Of course we're gonna talk our trash. He's content right now. Umar was big mad about the electric company calls, but he didn't mention Dumpsy and the flunkies by name. Before that, Umar gave them kudos for attacking the AFW, but Umar didn't mention Dumpsy or his flunkies' names. Dumpsy's biggest mistake was 100% integrating professional, unprofessional life with YouTube. I would agree with that. Dumpsy wanted to be Umar's right-hand dude, just like KKC wanted to. I agree with that. It never cut a check. Yes, Dumpsy is very jealous if and when anyone gets any amount of mention or focus in all circumstances. What up, Rev G? Is now the head school counselor at FDMG. Umar knows me and Anti, and we sent him no money. Everyone is walking Red Lobster. Everyone is a walking Red Lobster gift card. Okay. All right, cool.
I'm gonna be honest, man. There were several people, particularly, and you know one of these females. I know you know. I'm not gonna say her name. She expressed to me multiple times, and there's actually two females that brought to my attention that, hey, he's doing this, and it just never resonated with him. He had issues, or whenever my name would be mentioned, it's like he wouldn't verbally say something, but the response was not always, or no response. So
you're in the Book of Negroes is what you're trying to tell me.
Well, I'm not publicly in the Book of Negroes, but what I'm, because see, I talked to he the first time he didn't really know who I was. My content wasn't there yet. The second time I met him, we had a conversation because when he saw me, he greeted me with my name. Like when I went up.
That sound like fanboy. That's fanboy. He was like, "Hey, dude, Derell, he saw me my name. Hey." That's fanboy right there.
Get that second book.
How y'all go from "What's up, B" to
don't know. I don't know, man. And I'm gonna say this, man. He talked to my son more than he really, because my son was asking my son, "What you doing?" You know, all this stuff, because you like kids, and he do like, I could see he like kids. He loved that high school, middle, like he loved kids. He really was more into like talking to my son than me. And I was trying to get, and see, he started bringing up the YouTubian this, and I don't know, we can't professional. And And so my position.
So he put Derell in a bag. That's what it looks like. He put him in a bag and he put him in a box, right? You're the YouTube guy. And I think that's where Derell messed up. Was trying to become a content creator that bangs for Umar, because he didn't become the supporter. He became the YouTube guy. And to lose that type of credibility when you are a supporter and a YouTube guy can be almost soul crushing. Because somebody like Umar, he could care less about, unless you go viral with just about every video, or unless your subscriber count is in the hundreds of thousands of views, of subscribers, he's not checking for you. He's not checking for you unless you are Lennon Honor that gets thousands in the chat. He's not checking. And so Derell's attempt to stand for Umar's honor on YouTube, it fell flat. But what shouldn't have fallen flat was his consistent support of $200 a month that led up to about $15,000 to $20,000. That shouldn't have fell flat. Derell should have only been the money man and kept YouTube. Just saying.
Position was, I was like, hey, I would like to interview. I want to ask you some questions that nobody else would ask. Detailed things. It would, look at things in a certain light. Ask you professional questions that other people that are not in the profession wouldn't understand. And so I thought that I could bring that to the table. And according to some people, Umar kind of iffy about you. I don't know what it is. When we bring your name up, he acting looking funny or not saying anything. That I have heard that several times.
So you made an attempt to interview Umar, and he got you down. The Pan-African.
All right, here's the part. I guess I was up. Here's the part where, and we're not going to be able to get to the Carrie stuff, you guys. I'm sorry. I got to get ready to go after this breakdown of not really the interview, but the descriptors and going through the timeline. Don't forget, that's all I'm doing with this interview is breaking down the descriptors. How does Derell view himself? Where's the timeline? Don't forget, the indictments happened between 2016 to 2024. That's where the FBI and all of them are getting their information from that time span, and possibly from where we're at now. It could be current. I don't know. But when the article was written, they said 2016 to 2024, right? And so all we're doing is putting some of the pieces together to get a better look at the psychology behind it all. And how is Derell really thinking? How does he present himself? Where is he at mentally? So that's all we're really looking for. And to me personally, where he's at is between disbelief and delusion. Disbelief that this shit is really happening, and delusion that he's going to get away with this and he did nothing wrong, right? So there's that. And I may come back later on tonight with a part 2, only because I want to go over Sharita Richardson's story. All right, I want to go over Sharita Richardson's story, well, elements of her story, and tie it in as well with the Derell stuff, big Umar Johnson sector stuff, got to give back to the community, even though the Umar Johnson sector loves Derell so much that they will not cover this story, which is insane because this shit could be bigger than, this shit could be hotter than fish grease, but they won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But I'm here to do the Lord's work. Right, because he is a prominent figure in the Umar Johnson sector, and bad shit happened. So why are we not covering it? Carrie Ann, who is making a resurgence back into the sector, and people love her or hate her. It is what it is. She's making a resurgence. And when she went through a lot of shit, everybody and their grandmama covered it. Is it because Carrie Ann is not giving everybody money? She only gave Photon money. Is that the only reason? Is it because Derell has paid us all of us a lot of money, and so now you're not covering him. It makes no sense whenever you have this much tea and you're just gonna ignore it. It's weird to me how that works. But this is Umar Johnson shit right here. This is our sector. Here we go.
He basically was like, hit me up, go through the, we can. He tried to tell me about the conditions. Send him a text or email, which I knew he wasn't going to respond, and he didn't. And I just took it for what it was, and I just kept it pushing.
So you being a Pan-African, you being a therapist, you being a business person who's built a franchise.
All right, here's some descriptors. You being a Pan-African, you being a therapist, you being a businessman that built a franchise. I don't know where the hell he got that from. What franchise? Derell Car Services? Is that franchised? Dollar with D? Derell's Dollar Store? Is that franchise? Oh yeah, we got one of those down the street here in Phoenix. They're going, yeah, we got a Dollar with D. What we talking about? What they talk about? They talk about that. What they talk about? They talk about that. What they talk about? They talk about that. What? Okay.
Mental health agency. You being an entrepreneur. You being a college graduate, a master's, whatever else you got going on. You being probably the most substantial financial contributor to FEMG, which is founded by Brother Ifa.
Now we know that that's not true. If all he gave was between $10,000 to $20,000, that's not true. There were people that we seen with our own eyes that blessed him with 50, 100,000, just like that. Land that's worth so much money that he rejected. We see he has bigger contributors than that. Now he has consistent contributors that will give $10,000 to $20,000 a month. And they did that in like a 4 or 5 month period. Like we've seen bigger contributors, and Derell is not going to correct this dude, which is insane.
And you telling me that wasn't enough to get you an interview?
I could not get he did not respond to me trying to set up the interview. So, and I want you to understand, prior to that, I was already privy to the information of him being iffy about me. But I just basically say, hey, I just want to interview you. We could talk strictly about mental health, which was.
We can talk strictly about mental health. So let's keep it on a very professional level. There's another descriptor. He wanted to talk about mental health. It could have just been that. I'm curious if Derell's number wasn't enough. Because Umar Johnson will not turn an interview down if the number's right. He doesn't care who is interviewing him. It could be Lord Jamar. It could be We on Lock. It could be Shakim, even though Shakim's number wasn't right. But Shakim almost secured an interview with Umar Johnson. It's just the money was kind of funny. So was Derell's money not right at this time? Because that's really all it took.
It was fine, which was actually, we could talk about, I did want to get into the antics and things online, but we didn't have to do that. I could strictly have a mental health related conversation with Umar with two professionals speaking on it, which would present different than somebody wanting to know certain things and diagnoses. And so I thought that
we can have two professionals speaking on it. What is it? Speaking on what? Mental health? Is mental health the it? And we can be in two different directions of mental health? How would you be in two different directions if you're speaking on the mental health? What type of mental health? Mental health within the Black community? How are you going to be in two different directions? I don't know.
If I was able to do that, it would shed light with Umar more on a professional level as it relates to the range of his skill and knowledge and application of therapeutic techniques and things of that sort to help the population that he is wanting to service.
So he's saying that interview would have served Umar because Umar would have been in a professional setting if he wanted that. Because Derell is saying he could have gave him the raunchy setting to where he could cuss people out and do this or do that, or he could have given him the professional setting where it would have highlighted Umar's brand all the more because he would have been able to speak on issues that highlight or cater towards his expertise. So Derell was going to offer that. Sounds familiar. I've done that with Derell at times, where I made sure, we did a members only live, and I did a live stream that highlights his expertise. Derell, are you stealing from me? Should I be on these indictments as a victim?
in the framework of a school. And he didn't want to do it. And to me, I didn't take it personal because I knew it was a 50-50 chance. And so it didn't happen. And I just kept it pushing.
Let me ask you this. All right, you've been privileged to the insides and outs of the Umar saga as it continues, right? It's been going on since.
So first you say that it's messed up because he was given money and he didn't have the ins and outs of FDMG. Now you're saying he's privileged to have the ins and outs. Make up your mind, Recognize Game. Please make up your mind. Money man, Dempsey was stealing that money. He was not a money man. That's what Anti said. I think she's talking to Trini on that one. Dempsey was bashing Umar along with Fold Up Body, the No Jumper Dude, TCTV, and the Goo Guys. This started once Dempsey started paying flunkies to attack people. Okay. All right. He thinks he's above the law. Well, I'm probably not now, though, QI. Paid us. Speak for yourself, bro. Appreciate that help. NFOs and updates. He is a counselor, not a therapist. And where's the Janice house? That's a scam alert, according to Identity. He said Umar was envious of him. You don't get it, Binary. Dempsey was bashing Umar while saying he was a supporter. That would piss me off if I was Umar. No way. Fold Up Body was never going to get an interview with Umar, as Fold Up Body was a part of the bashing crew that called the electric company online for content. Yeah, true. It's crazy how y'all can hate someone this bad. Did he harm or hurt y'all? Always remember karma. Right. So the indictment, the FBI on your arse. Is this not karma? I don't know. Dempsey is so inarticulate. He and Umar both have very limited knowledge of mental health. Neither of them are with the times. Oh shit.
As far as you've been aware of since 2014, you've been knee deep in this thing.
Yes.
You really actually are taking Umar serious as a behavioral health clinician of some kind?
Am I taking him serious?
Yeah.
Well, I can't, okay. So it's two ways to look at this.
Let me ask you, would you brought up your son. Would you allow Umar Johnson to facilitate a treatment plan of any kind or perform principal duties at a school that your son is enrolled in? Would you approve of Umar from what you know about him?
Yes, I would, because basically no one has.
All right, listen. This is the Menace to Society. So you bought the bottle of beer at 10:30. Now you're saying you bought it at 12. This is that. Because we just heard him say yes, he would allow Umar to facilitate to be the principal at his son's school, to create a plan for his son's behavior, to do all these things, to be a prominent figure pretty much in his son's life. He just said yes. Watch how quick he goes back on those words.
Has complained, or no one has given a complaint as it relates to Umar as a professional. See, I'm not going to blur the lines of Umar Johnson, the content creator figure, versus Umar Johnson, the professional. And so until I hear people complain about Umar Johnson's skill level in his application as a professional, as a certified school psychologist, but I've never gotten that. No one has went on record saying that Umar Johnson.
Listen, I actually get what Derell's saying right here. Now, if he didn't go back and pretty much redact this statement based off of a canceling statement that he made as far as not allowing Umar in his son's life, then I could understand what he's saying, because he's right. Nobody has really questioned Umar Johnson's ability to be a counselor. Umar Johnson quit the public schools to try to create his own school, right? So nobody questioned his professional ability to operate in that controlled environment where he's not able to be this loose gun. You know what I'm saying? So, but once he got out of that controlled environment and wanted to do his own thing, he became a loose cannon, is what I was looking for. A loose cannon. Here we go.
Was negligent in any way towards anybody that he provided services for. So until that happened, now I'm looking at it different because I am a mental health professional, so I do understand.
There's a descriptor right there. He said, I'm looking at this different because I am a mental health professional. Don't forget, this is in lieu of everything that we got going on today. All these descriptors, all this stuff that you're saying, this is a form of promoting your business. A business, I think, according to Anti and the judge, you're not supposed to even be having. But let's continue, because here's the double talk.
So you ain't gonna just do anything and think you go, because I know the processes to doing things. I know, I know what it should look like, and I know how it should be implemented and facilitated. So you're not gonna get away with something that you got that somebody else don't know what's going on. Because I've worked and done things heavily in the school systems, and particularly alternative schools. So I don't know, and unless I hear multiple people complain about him as a professional, which has never happened. Now, complaining to him as a professional as opposed to a school administrator to operate a school is totally different. Now, if you ask me, the better question would be, would I send my son to a school that Umar Johnson is the principal or the facilitator?
He did ask you that. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He did ask you that. I almost want to rewind, but I'm not going to. And if y'all seen Recognize Game's face right now, he has that face like, Negro, I asked you that.
Over. The answer is no.
Right.
The answer is no.
I did say that, and I was like I was taking a little aback, because I'm like,
no. As it relates to that, no, because me questioning his ability to operate and do things appropriately as an administrator, but as a certified school psychologist, and he's operating in the framework of his profession, I wouldn't have no issues with that.
What are some of the things as someone who...
That was double talk at its finest. The same Pan-African therapists making derogatory songs towards black women. Nah, this ain't karma. Speak on that identity. The hypocrisy is how silent the sector is about that facts. And calling it hate screams a defensive position for an alleged fraud. That's crazy how that works, identity. Binary, yes, we did question Umar's professional abilities. Umar ran into trouble as a school psychologist, even lied to the court that he had a doctorate before the supposed date it was awarded. Oh, shit. So that's what it was. So he was how can I put this? He was overzealous. How about that? And he knew it was coming, so he was just saying he had it before he got it. Is that what the whole... Okay.
Does hire, and you're familiar with the hiring process in this particular field. What are some of the things or the antics that you've seen displayed in public by Dr. Umar Johnson that would make you reluctant to hire him or to partner with his FDMG as an actual agency that you own? Okay.
Now, I'm going to start with the business side of the game, because that's really the most important. Okay. When I first learned that he didn't have
let's take away from that part. Let's just focus on his behavior.
Oh, just his behavior. Okay.
Would it be conducive to what you got going on around your office?
Okay. Umar's behavior online is not conducive to me hiring him in any of my facilities doing the things that he's doing, because
any of my facilities. This is multiple facilities. There's a descriptor, right, of what he owns. Well, not necessarily owns, but the practices, right? So his practice is being ran out of multiple facilities. And I can't believe he says that he wouldn't hire Umar. That is the biggest load of BS. If Umar walked into his practice, he would hire Umar for the sheer fact that Umar is going to bring numbers, not only physically to his place, but electronically through subs. The numbers will come. Derell would be talking on top of Mount Everest, screaming at the top of his lungs that FDMG is coming and that Umar Johnson is working for him. Cut it out.
Because of the level of attention that he draws to himself, and it can be deemed as unprofessional. And so on. As a person who has a business, I don't want my staff operating in such a way, particularly as it relates to some of the encounters he's had with other YouTubers. And also things as far as the scandals with some of the females. Okay, yeah, that would be problematic.
That would be problematic. I could see that being problematic.
Yeah. Now the other stuff, the goofiness and the joke, I wouldn't care less about that. But things that relates to him cursing and yelling out and doing stuff with other YouTubers and the women.
You mean the very things that you do? So you wouldn't hire yourself? What we talking about right now? Recognized Game knows better. He knows who he's talking to. He knows better, y'all. This is crazy.
The scandal issues with the women and all of that stuff, that would be, we would have to discuss that. I'm not going to say, that would be problematic.
So as a professional, you're saying that it's a no-go for Umar to be crushing cookies in the main office. That's what you're basically saying.
That would be a no-go. Definitely.
Okay. Because he has invited all the baby mamas to come pick out the colors of the walls and the colors of the floors, and he gonna have a boudoir. What is it? A bedroom in the back of the office and in the other room. So Umar been pretty much, man, sexually explicit out here in these YouTube streets. I just don't see how he could do a live stream right after history class and be talking about crushing cookies. All right, I'm just not understanding the crushing cookies thing. Why any man would send his BM and his kids over there so Umar can be trying to get at it, because it's going to come a time when, the season's going to change. The sister's going to come in that office with them sundresses on. And I'm not too sure Umar can hold it down, man.
All right, and that is it. That is all. That is the interview. And we broke it down, hopefully, in a very entertaining way, and we weren't just listening to somebody's live stream and just reacting, but we actually had elements in which we broke things down. I wish I could drop the link because I definitely want to hear from you guys, but I do have a very busy day and I need to get that thing started right now. So I got to get up out of here. So thank y'all so much for rocking with me. If I can, I will be coming back live tonight because I want to go over the Sharita Richardson story, and then I'll make sure that I have time and I'll drop the link tonight. Okay. Thank y'all again for rocking with me. I'll catch y'all later. But I will have time tomorrow morning, like I did today, how I went on my main channel and then I went on this channel. If I don't come live tonight, I will have time tomorrow to do the Sharita Richardson story. All right, y'all. Peace.
Because I don't think I heard you right. Say it again.
I guess, sure. What I said was, I love you, Naruto. And you also need to know that Sasuke doesn't mean
love you,
anything to
Benji.
me. It's totally crazy to ever like him in the first place.
Girl, I try for you. I wouldn't say I lie, but I lie for you. And I wouldn't say I cry, but I cry for you. All these tears on my eyes and they fall for you. And they fall for you. All these hoes on my phone, but I'm calling you. Like through the bumps and the lows, girl, I'm calling you. Girl, I'm all for you. Well, bye. Girl, I try for you. I wouldn't say I lie, but I lie for you. No, I wouldn't say I cry, but I cry for you. All these tears on my eyes and they fall for you. And they fall for you. And they fall for you. Girl, they falling. Yeah, they fall for you.